We're going to go over today's Lions news for you folks today. A lot when it comes to the injury front, good and bad. That's what we're going to get into for today's video. We'll talk a little bit about Dan Campbell. He spoke to the media, the press conference. Amon-Ra St. Brown is being epic like he always is. And we're going to continue to talk about our beloved Detroit Lions through this bye week. Let's go. Let's get into the Lions news. And the most important stuff right now, as we all know, is the Lions injury front. That is the biggest news of all. And we have some updates on some players. And we're going to go ahead and give you some of the updates right here. Now, when it comes to a couple of players, we got some good news here. We got some bad news. Let's get into the good news first. Players who could return, we got Montgomery for the divisional round. It looks like he's going to return for the divisional round. That's great news. You have Sonic and Knuckles back. That is going to be good. Now, I know a lot of people said, well, we just want to have Jahmyr Gibbs out there. He's special. I get that, but you want to give him some rest, and having Montgomery out there, he's the pile pusher, will help that out. So that's fantastic news. So, no, I'm not one of those guys that says, well, we need to have Jahmyr in there the whole time because of reasons. Well, I totally get it. He definitely puts up great yards, but you need to have your backup in there, and that's what Knuckles is going to do. So that is good news. Before we continue on with some news, I'm going to ask you to smash that like button really quick. Folks, let's go ahead and get to 300 likes. That is the goal today on this bye week. I know it's hard to do, but smashing that like button is the easiest thing to do for this channel. It really pushes the content out there, and that would be absolutely awesome. Let's get into some good news as well. Obviously, when it comes to Alex Anzalone's he's on the St. Brown podcast yesterday or this morning, whatever you want to say it, and he's super sore after his injury that he sustained to his forearm, his broken forearm, and he talked about the surgery and everything, but he said he's really sore. That's it. He's got pain, sore, good to go. We're going to get into Kevin Zeitler. Nothing serious. Great news. Rest him. Should be good to go for the divisional round. You see how he looked like he tweaked his hamstring at the end of the game. I didn't think it was that serious. At the time, I said, he'll be good to go. He is good to go. The best news, though, from the injury front is Terrion Arnold. Terrion Arnold is day-to-day with basically a bruised foot. So he'll be good to go for the divisional round. That is epic news. Before we continue on, though, we'll shout out to the sponsor of today's video. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time, the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets to sport events, concerts, comedy shows, or whatever. Their lowest price is guaranteed. That's the Game Time guaranteed. Let's keep it a buck. Going to a game is much better than being at your house. The Lions for the divisional round in about 2 weeks. We don't know what we're going to face, but it's at Ford Field. And if you want to get some tickets, check out Game Time. Our friends from Game Time is the new feature. It's called Game Time Picks. What it does, it filters out all the fluff to get the best deals on tickets, so you're not spending hours looking for the best deals on seats and wasting time looking for tickets. Now, how do you get that? How do you get the Game Time Picks? Well, you go to the Game Time app. Look for the venue that you want to see. It'll be in a 3D view. Select the Game Time Picks button on top of the screen. It automatically does the research for you. And it filters out the tickets in the database for you to get the best deals and the best seats, so you didn't spend hours on a bunch of different ticketing sites trying to find the best tickets. You can also get exclusive flash deals on tickets for football, baseball, basketball, concerts, and more. In the middle screenshot, by the way, I think it's a fantastic feature of the app. It shows you where your seat is, and when you move the phone left to right, you can see the surrounding area kind of like a 3D live photo. Also, all pricing is right there for you. There's no hidden fees at checkout. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time today. Do you want a quick deal? Plug in Chat Sports, and you're going to get $20 off your very first purchase. Again, go to the redeem code section. You plug in Chat Sports. You're going to get $20 off your first purchase. Terms that apply. Got a credit account, got an email to save that money. The link is going to be in the comment section and description of this video. So if you're buying Lions tickets this year, make sure you're using Game Time. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets and lowest prices guaranteed. Not everything is gravy, and there is some bad news here. And they asked Dan Campbell about two specific players. Well, a couple players. will they come back this regular season? Carlton Davis was asked, or the media asked Dan Campbell about Carlton Davis. He said he's done for the year. He's not coming back. Now, the first report says he's coming back for the NFC Championship game, and that's what I thought because that's what they're all saying, and it doesn't look like that's the case. That's a big deal to the Lions secondary. It's a significant bad news, right? Because we wanted him for the NFC Championship game. So it's going to have to be Amik Robertson on the outside. He played great versus Justin Jefferson. Brian Branch is going to be in the slot. But Ennis Rakestraw should be coming back. So we'll see what they do there. That's good news for the Lions to get our second-round pick. Again, this is the reason why we drafted these guys. Everybody asked, why did we draft back-to-back corners? Well, here is the reason why. And Carlton Davis was known as a player who can't stay healthy. Even though he's talented, he couldn't stay healthy. So, look, it sucks. We're going to have to make up for it with his presence being gone. But smash that like button, folks. Get the 300 likes. With your help, it can happen. Other players, too, that's not coming back. Derrick Barns will not be coming back. I didn't expect him to come back, to keep it a buck. So, but he's not coming back. John Cominsky's not coming back. Aidan Hutchinson, now it's pushed to potentially the Super Bowl or not coming back. That's what Dan Campbell is saying. He said if there's one person that could do it, it's Hutch. I don't think he's expecting it. So, that sucks. If that's 100% true, we're hoping to have him back for the NFC Championship game, so it looks like that's getting pushed. That means that Darius Smith, he's got to be the guy here going forward, and obviously Aaron Glenn, with his magician work that he needs to be doing defensively throughout there. But I know this Lions offense is amazing, and I expect that the Detroit Lions will be successful. I expect them to go to the Super Bowl. I do. And that is the name of the game for me. We got some cool news here. Amon-Ra St. Brown is giving back to the bakery. This lady who made a life-size upside-down Amon-Ra St. Brown cake, and he's given back. I actually just listened to the St. Brown podcast. He says, I'm checking it out next week in person. I do want to see what it tastes like, too. I need a slice of something, but in honor of Home Bakery in Rochester, Michigan, I'll be giving away 2 home playoff tickets to the divisional round next week to win a chance to attend our divisional round playoff game next weekend. All you need to do is purchase an item at Home Bakery, a cake shop in Rochester, Michigan, between January 13 and January 16 to enter the contest. The winner will be announced on Friday the 17th. So freaking cool by Amon-Ra St. Brown to do that. So really cool by the bakery to make that. If you haven't seen, I'm sure you all have seen it, but go to Rochester, man. Go to the bakery, folks. Get those tickets. It's not a big bakery. St. Brown's going to be there to eat some cake. Go up there if you have a chance and live that area, man. Try to get to the divisional round. We need all the Lions fans out there as humanly possible. Adding 2 more is going to be a great thing. So if you're listening to this, go out to Rochester. Listen. Maybe you have a chance to, watch the game at Ford Field for free because tickets are pretty expensive. Now, you can go to Game Time. You get the best deals over there for sure, but free you can do as well. Amik Robertson, I don't really want to get into the film breakdown because I already know. I just want to talk about Amik Robertson. And when we first got Amik Robertson, I've had people say that he wasn't a player that's really worth to have on the team. I didn't think so. I thought he'd be a great addition to the nickel, and he could play on the outside. Now, I did not expect him to be this good for Justin Jefferson. I don't think anybody did. But if he could play like this, the Lions will have a chance to win a Super Bowl. There's no doubt about it. Amik Robertson, an undervalued, underappreciated player on this football team, and I'm glad he got the game ball. I understand what he says. They try to bury me in the dirt, but I was born in the dirt. You can't bear, you know what I'm saying? So I love that. I love his personality. Meek, brother, I love what you're bringing to this team, and I'm so happy that you signed with our beloved Detroit Lions because we need you so bad. So, if you're watching this or any of the DBs watching this, trust me, Amik, you are valued in Detroit. Now, you may not be valued in the national media. You may not be valued in your former team, the Raiders, But best believe, just like Jared Goff, just like Dan Skipper, just like a lot of other people, you're valued in Detroit. You 100% are. And our Lions fans, we appreciate the hell out of you. And Dan Campbell also spoke about Aaron Glenn saying how ridiculous he was. 100%. Aaron Glenn was playing ridiculous out of his mind. You can go through this, but we made the video yesterday about Aaron Glenn about potentially getting a head coaching job. I do think he gets the job. I think he's a New Orleans Saints head coach. And we're going to get 2 conditional draft picks for that. And again, I know losing our coordinator is going to suck. But getting 2 players from a guy who's guaranteed to get a job, in my opinion, hey, that's a great consolation prize, right? That's a great prize to have. And I fully expect – now this is something you need to understand too. We'll get back to this a little bit. Shep. The Lions, I feel like I feel like Dan Campbell's smart. Not only does he groom players and groom, you bring in rookies and you're building them up, but he also grooms coaches. And if we do lose a coach, I think we can step up internally and get our own coach. We don't need to hire within. We got Shepard. I think linebackers coach, probably step in and play defense. Great coach. And he's going to be valued, and he's going to be awesome. So don't worry, folks, if we lose an Aaron Glenn. Now, Ben Johnson may be different. He's really, really good. I still think that the Lions' offense will be great. I don't know about as great as it is now because he's a genius. But it's still going to be really good. And I think that they're grooming these young coaches to be coaches and doing what the Patriot tree did, doing what all these other trees did. They groom players, and they become head coaches, and we keep drinking water and driving on because that's what good franchises do. Right? The Sean McVay's trees and all that. So you just continue to go on. So we got Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell is not appreciated, I think, as head coaches. I think a lot of people give all the credit to the coordinators. You got to give credit to Dan Campbell as well. So if we lose coaches, we still got Dan Campbell, folks. In the comments, let me know your thoughts on this, on the video and the news here. With that said, adios.